Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now April 7th of 2023, and with a lot of Star Wars projects on the horizon by John, George, Dave, and even other creators coming on board that are being hired by Disney, are really about to expand Star Wars Legends into, of course, live-action adaptations through the upcoming films and Star Wars TV shows, a part of the Mandoverse, and other different eras as well. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, where we are today is that there's a lot of things happening between Kathleen Kennedy's treatment of Star Wars and John and Dave's treatment of the franchise. We all know that Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte has been a very tough production for Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie, and John Watts, with a lot of delays and setbacks, reshoots and rewrites and such, that really has caused a number of issues. However, behind closed doors, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with what Dave Filoni has planned for the future of Luke Skywalker and exactly what he is going to do with the character beyond, of course, Disney+. So, as you all know, Bob Iger's main plan right now is to bring Star Wars back to the big screen. That's basically what he wants to do. He wants to bring Star Wars movies back in action, really making them the main focus besides just Star Wars TV shows. And so far, from what we saw at Star Wars Celebration, we got a handful of announcements in which at D23 later this year, we're going to be getting more announcements related to that old Republic content that's going to be in the form of a trilogy, so keep your eyes open for that as well. Now, beyond all of this, what's even all the more exciting that has a lot to do with Dave Filoni's treatment of Luke, not just in Mando Season 4, Ahsoka Season 2, and beyond, but also Luke returning to theaters. Now, with many new Star Wars projects currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm, one key project is a new Star Wars movie that is being developed by Dave Filoni himself that is aimed to center on bringing the Mandoverse to the big screen. However, Dave has bigger plans than just that for this new Star Wars movie that was recently announced at Celebration. Storyboards for the film and even notes have already been created that will focus on the return of Luke Skywalker to the big screen again, and how Mark Hamill will be playing a large role in bringing Luke back to theaters again through this new ILM revolutionary technology for the community to see. The plan is for the new Mandoverse movie to be the first of a new trilogy that will be treated as a new sequel trilogy in a sense, and a canon version of Heir to the Empire. Dave Filoni is planning on giving fans different ages of Luke and different iterations of the character on the big screen, where the film that's being created is described to have a similar budget to that of The Rise of Skywalker, and that Disney is aiming to make this a major blockbuster hit to really kickstart Dave Filoni's career in the actual theaters. So let me pause here before I get to the next big piece about all of this, is that we know that Dave Filoni has really started off with animated material, then he got into live-action television with Star Wars, and now he is promoting himself to, of course, Star Wars cinema. Alright, going to the movie theaters and stuff around those lines. Now, the fact that his latest Star Wars movie is going to focus on the New Republic, as well as all of the other Mandoverse shows, wrapping together into one big Star Wars movie, and stretching out into becoming an ultimate trilogy, is really his avenue, or his vessel, if you will, to bring Luke to the big screen again. And this is a very big deal, because the fact that they are going to be getting a younger version of Luke on the big screen, that is something that we have never seen before besides the original trilogy. You know, granted, we never got to see post-Return of the Jedi Luke on the big screen. That was never really, you know, a big focus. We only got to see, you know, Luke sequel trilogy era, and that was about it. So, basically what they are planning to do is that all these Mandoverse shows are building up toward this Mandoverse trilogy, the first of which is, of course, being developed by Dave Filoni, as teased at Celebration today, and we here even talked about this months beforehand, about these Mandoverse movies coming to the theaters. So, the thing about this too, that I think a lot of fans need to be very well aware of, is the fact that they know that Luke Skywalker really got treated badly in the sequels. They are very well aware about the backlash. Disney is not trying to, you know, ignore that. They're trying to really kind of remedy the situation, and that's exactly why they gave Dave Filoni a Star Wars film, or a series of films, that are going to be centered within or around the Mandoverse. So basically, you are going to see characters like Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Din Djarin, Grogu, Luke, Thrawn, Ezra on the big screen. That's the goal right now behind the scenes for Dave Filoni's treatment. Moving on. Now, apart from all of this, they actually have a plan that they are moving forward with to getting ready to make Thrawn the new big bad for Luke Skywalker and others like Ahsoka Tano and Ezra Bridger to face in these new Star Wars films that Dave Filoni is crafting. The first of which is going to set up on wrapping up the entire Mandoverse projects and their interconnecting stories. The goal by Filoni is to give fans different versions of Luke from Legends to be done on the big screen, and that this is going to be his way of doing Luke correctly in cinemas, unlike with the sequels that many fans had lots of criticism over. Filoni is also looking for other writers to come on board of this movie to help bring Luke to the big screen properly using ILM's new technology for the fans. So, before I get to another part of this, is that Jon Favreau is going to be helping out with Dave Filoni on these new Star Wars movies, make no mistake about that, but this is mainly going to be crafted by Dave Filoni, alright? Now, he's going to be getting some experienced writers on board, and he is also going to be directing them. He's going to be co-writing some parts of these movies and such around those lines, so that's also very exciting. And the fact that it's going to be a live-action adaptation of Heir to the Empire, and how Ahsoka as a show is going to set all of this up, is interesting, because in the trailer of Ahsoka, you do hear her say, Heir to the Empire. You know, a nice callback to Star Wars Legends with the Thrawn trilogy especially. Very great callback there. And so, you know, you have this scenario where Dave Filoni's just trying to do whatever he can to really provide the fans very, very good material that's going to date back to Legends, and how they can properly and accurately make that into live-action adaptations on the big screen. So, the fact that they are moving forward with bringing Luke on the big screen through this new Mandoverse project that's going to be a Star Wars movie to kickstart a new trilogy is very impressive, I gotta say. I mean, we already know that James Mangold is holding a Dawn of the Jedi film as well that's going to focus on the first Jedi in existence and the beginning of the Jedi Order. As well as on top of that, we got Old Republic movies on the horizon that will be announced, like I said, at D23. So this was the first slate of Star Wars movies that were announced. The next slate are going to be Old Republic centered. And they even kind of showed you the different eras at Celebration. Dawn of the Jedi takes place before the Old Republic, so this is like real ancient lore that James Mangold's going to dive into. So anyways, guys, you know, fill me in below in the comments, you know, what you think about Dave Filoni's treatment of Luke coming back to the cinemas, back to the theaters, if you will. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.